And a very welcome to All Souls Temple, All Souls Aquarian Church. It is good that we are here. We are creating sacred space. A place where we come to be comforted and encouraged. We are syncretic, secular, forward. The Aquarian is being expressed here as All Souls Temple, All Souls Aquarian Church. It is taking the stories that we have in our Western traditions and taking them as allegory and metaphorically, not literally. We do not take the Bible's teachings as literal. We see it from a historically critical, methodological viewpoint, just as we do with other sacred scriptures and texts from other religious traditions. We take all that which is helpful for us and we leave behind any interpretations that render one people being somehow more elevated than an other. We celebrate every people's religious practices, traditions that uphold and promote the dignity of all human life equally, whilst celebrating our uniqueness and diversity. But with the Aquarian Temple Church and as All Souls is bringing people together to celebrate what can be called the spiritual. But namely, it's humanistic, it's humanitarian. So one doesn't even have to have any spiritual beliefs to participate. We just ask that to believe in humanity's essential goodness, hopefully. That's what we do with faith and hope. Have faith and hope in yourself. Believe in yourself. Have hope and faith in humanity. So it's really, I'm coming out of the Catholic tradition as a former director of religious education, faith formation within the Catholic Church and education system, as a lay pastor with a master's degree in theology from the Catholic University, a religious studies degree from a secular university, a student of the esoteric teachings, especially astrology, which relates to numerology, sacred geometry, which exposes, reveals the esoteric, metaphorical, allegorical meanings of much of the Bible. And All Souls Aquarian Church Temple is using astrology, the seasons, to learn from. We look to nature to learn about God. The word God needs a whole new treatment. Aquarianism is agnostic in the sense that it is not dogmatic. But it challenges other religious institutions and faith traditions to take a historically critical approach to their studies. What they've been given is the esoteric, exoteric, outside of the circle meaning of these things, which are literal. Use control and manipulate the masses. While the inner circle has the esoteric, the inner secret hidden teachings. And lots of that is astrology. Now, astrology, one doesn't have to believe in astrology to participate in, definitely not Aquarianism, but or even All Souls Temple. It serves as a useful way to structure the year. And we look to, and we use it for metaphor and allegory between light and darkness. And as we go through, we'll see that lots of the other religions use the cycle of the year to set up their holidays and holy days. All Souls is doing that. Namely, the four big ones are the points of our equinoxes: spring equinox, Aries; fall equinox, Libra, where we have equinox, night, light. Equal night and equal light. But the sun is going down. It's into fall. The first season of fall is Libra season. It falls, and then it's resurrected at Easter time. The Son of God, my friends, not a historical literal person, was Jesus. That is what All Souls is teaching and using as a comb to be pulled through, specifically in this sense with Jesus, Christianity, and the Catholic Church. So we've come to the realization that Jesus is a mythological character, much like Bacchus, Mithra, Osiris, Horus, Ra, many other sun deities, Krishna. And Christ means to be crested with chrism. It has to do with rising up our energy to the crown. Being anointed. Mashiach. Messiah means anointed in oil, as you would anoint a king. So that metaphysiological knowledge, which is esoteric, which is wrapped into the zodiac. Here's our spine, the top of the season being the summer solstice of Cancer, home of the moon. And exaltation of Jupiter, the creator, Jupiter, good father, Zeus. Hey, Zeus. The sun, Jupiter, of Kronos, Saturn, who is the grand master architect, Set in ancient Egypt, Seth in Judaism, Joseph, Saint Joseph, is the architect, the carpenter. His son, Jupiter, father, Jesus. It's astrological. The 12 signs of the zodiac, we break each one into 3 seasons. With 30 degrees in each one. 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle are squares. And the compass makes the circle. Square in the compass. The dome, and then the box, the form of the temple. The dome would be feminine. Curve is feminine. Straight line is masculine. 1, the sun, masculine. 2, curvy. The moon. You'll notice people born in Cancer have rounder faces. I swear. You can't make this stuff up. And usually bigger breasts and hips. You can't make this up. But we have free will. This is just a structure. We are the masters of our own destiny. But this is just learning about our body. To break out of the influence of the planets and fate. To live a destined life, not a fated life. But you want to know about the inner workings of the body that we're in. And it's a reflection of the body that we're in. A body within a body. My body. I got a little too much echo. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Oh, my phone should be on silent for these sacred services. So right now we're celebrating the Aries full moon. While the sun is in Libra. That's how we always get our full moons. Is when the sun is going to be in the opposite sign. So here's the sun over here in Libra. Here's the moon full over here in Aries. This is the Jewish New Year. But the civil New Year starts in Aries. Just like the first sign of the zodiac. The ecclesiastical New Year, they start it in Libra. It's the new. So Aries is the sign of newness. The moon there, full. So it's it's really the wedding feast. The 7th house of your birth chart is Libra. You want to look to how you do marriage? You're going to look to Libra. Your alter ego, you're going to look to the opposite of your ascendant, to Libra. Who you marry, where you get married, how you get married, if you get married, 7th house subjects. Also just one-on-one relationships, business contracts, marriage, you're signing a contract, you're making a deal. This is the book of life, where light is victorious and has a greater hand. Here's the book of death. The library of Libra. God is said to put your name down in the book of life or death. Saturn exalted here. The karmic king, the house of karma. 10th house would be your house of Dharma. Saturn ruled Capricorn, which is down here. And Satan in hell. But when you have a birth chart, you flip it over. So, since we're just going by the day chart, that shows that here's a wheel. We come into the wheel, a backwards wheel. It's those opposites coming together that give us life. Which is why they say Adam and Eve was created in Libra season. Venus is home in Libra. If you know, Libras are often beautiful. Yeah. So is Taurus ruled Venus. Taurians are beautiful. Taurians just have a more earthy beauty about them. Libra, air sign, a more airy, lighter quality to the way that they look. They're known to be diplomatic. Good lawyers and judges. We have Saturn, the judge, with the sword in his hand, Lady Justice, splitting the baby in half. Here's the baby. Libra, the place of marriage. And then we go into Scorpio. We fall into Scorpio where we consummate the marriage. It has to do with sex and the genitalia. The hips is the scales of Libra, right there in the middle of our body. Balanced on the scales. Harmony. That's why Libras are attractive, because they have harmonious features. Now, what are some shortcomings? They can have a hard time making decisions, being indecisive, needing to be in a relationship and nothing on their own. So we want to find our balance with the Aries, which is being courageous, bold, confident, sure. Yeah. So Mars, ruler of Aries, Sun exalted. The full moon in that area. Where's Mars at? Mars is off in freaking Gemini right now. Third house in this model, it would be the third house down here if we flip it upside down. Reversals is a thing. There's such thing as sacred reversals. Just like how the wheel of time and Earth and the sun and the cosmos is going that way, and we came into it this way. And bam, when we bring them together, that there's an experience. You need an other to have an experience. These first 6 signs of your birth chart are all about just you. You don't go out and meet somebody. You don't go out to the market to get judged, weighed on the scales of Libra until the 7th sign of the zodiac. The great I am is the ram of Aries. The sun would rather be over here, but the sun's not. The sun's over here. And it's detriment. Because it goes in front of the judge. And it gets sold out with a kiss of death from the scorpion who reaches up to tilt the scales. Striking up at the foot of the Virgin, Virgo, who's got its head on the scorpion. Looking to devour the son of the Virgin. And it does. The Scorpio takes out Orion, opposite in Taurus and Gemini. Because as Orion sets, Scorpio rises, opposite sign. It's all about these axes, my friends. We're coming off the Pisces, 12th house, Virgo, 6th house axis. Those, in astrology, in the chart, the 12th house and the 6th house are the toughest houses. They're houses of enemies, of hidden enemies, of sickness, of psychosis, of slavery, delusion. But also the house of service, psychic powers, dreams, intuition, imagination, unconditional love. Let's look to highlight those attributes of the Piscean Virgo axis as we go into the Aquarius Leo axis. The return of the conquering line of Leo. When we reach the 7th day of creation, Saturn, the 7th planet in the 7th heaven, day of rest of the Shabbat, which literally means Saturn. In Hell in Capricorn at the winter solstice, darkest time of the year, Capricorn season, ruled by Saturn, Satan. There's Satan in hell. Astrological, mythological ideas. Does Aquarian teach that there's literally a hell that one could go to after? It's agnostic. What is the healthiest belief to have? That's what we look to do with faith and belief. We believe in the power of imagination, in the power of group. People getting together to affect change for the better, to celebrate our uniqueness in community, the need perhaps that we have as human beings to be social. What the Aquarian do is it's using religion. Some say we just need to abandon religion altogether, but we see how that gets, it just creates a vacuum that gets filled with sports team adherence. Oh, it's a real waste of freaking energy. The cult of the celebrity. Cult of consumerism. Do we have a holiday for consumerism? Black Friday. My looks a little bit Catholic Christian, because that's the environment I come out of which I'm taking Aquarianism, which is the attributes of Aquarius that are good. What are those? We'll constantly explore them. Aquarius is Saturn in air. And then Leo, the sun. The 11th house, Aquarius. The 5th house, Leo. These are the two best houses of one's birth chart. So that's how we're going from the Kali Yuga, which is Saturn, this Grim Reaper, his joy is in Pisces. Because it's the end of the end. If we can get through Pisces without an end of the end type situation, yay, a Holocaust freaking nuclear fallout, which they're trying to push between Russia and the West, trying to instigate their Gog and Magog war. So that they just wipe out each other and the writers of the script and the heroes of it rule the world with their one world government, one world religion. The one world religion isn't some new age thing, which I don't even like to be identified as a new age religion. It's the Abrahamic religion, which is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That makes up half of the world, at least. And the laws that they want you to follow are called the Noahide laws. The 7 laws given to Noah, total fiction. We'll see the Noah's Ark, also known as Argo's constellation. And you'll see the 2x2 animals climbing aboard. We have the major Ursa and minor Ursa. The big bear, the little bear. Major Cana, minor Cana. The greater dog, the lesser dog. Astrological in nature are these myths. What we can choose to look upon right now as we celebrate this Aries full moon is, if you're a man or a female, whatever, use your imagination. It's within you. Imagine your wedding day. And say you're the groom. I'm doing this from my point of view. Don't get mixed up by the genders. This is masculine is active, fire and air. Feminine is receptive, earth and water. Okay, so here we are, fire and air. Where the sun, fire in the air, is in the place of rest. It's the sunset of the year. It's beautiful, perfect temperature, everything perfectly. The harvest is brought in, the harvest moon right now, laid out at the wedding feast. It's in the most beautiful location you can think of. You have all your friends and family, the other Libra, gathered around. All looking beautiful, flowers, the most beautiful colors, and white roses dotting each member. And here I am in my most beautiful, handsomest tuxedo, and across the aisle, the wedding song freaking starts off, da 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 da, with Mozart and his freaking ensemble floating down from heaven, the choir of angels singing to your soul and spirit's marriage, heaven and earth coming together as one. We look down the aisle past the heads of our greatest friends and family to the middle where the beautiful bride steps out from behind the pews and is adorned in the finest of white linens, the crown of gold and silver tinsel fretted with the stars from heaven. Cherubim carrying the tail of her dress as she floats on clouds. Meeting at the head of the altar, at the crest of the cathedral, pulling away her veil and revealing the most beautiful, tender, loving face to have ever had the sun shined upon. The judge, the official, robed in his most holiest of garments, joins you to us two as no longer two, but one. Perfectly, harmoniously together as one. Strengthened, a new creation. Blessed from the highest on highs, shining out to the lowest of lows, together in perfect balance. We meet and we drink from this fountain of everlasting whole life. as we celebrate the sacrament of the Aquarian, as we break out of blood, sacrifice, scapegoat, atonement, ritual, practicing, we hearken and we look up to the water bear, the constellation known as Aquarius, into which we are stepping as a collective. Let us do this consciously, co-creating with each other a world of peace and bounty. We call upon these waters of the celestial man, human, to pour out these heavenly waters into our soul and our bodies. May they be a fitting, sacred vessel for these waters of everlasting life together in one, the moon and the sun. Ah! Woo! I feel love. I feel love. I get the Holy Ghost coming through my veins. I feel the sacred scarab lighting the way. Let's go. Resurrecting our ancestral gods and goddesses. The idea of the feminine as holy and sacred, especially relating to earth and water. Let us go to the tarot for some guidance from perhaps our ancestors, perhaps guardian angels, to the saints who have fought for liberty and justice despite the religion that they're in. Sheesh. Let's ask for some guidance as we come here together in this season of Libra, as we prepare for the Scorpio eclipse season, as we try to avoid the end of the world. Let us ask for some guidance. Seven, that's too many cards. The Seven of Cups and the Moon upside down. Oh, it's asking us to, the seventh day, it's a day of rest. In the six-pointed cube, the seal of Solomon, the shield of David, the cube of Mecca, the temple of Solomon, fire and air glyph, water, earth, the elements taken together to give us our cube. Six-sided hexagon, what we were hexed into through sextiles, 60-degree angles, six sides. It's also the 666, which equals 18, which is the other card we got, the moon card, which is the 18th card of the zodiac. The nodes stay in each sign for 18 months. The nodes are how we measure eclipses. And then we got the Seven of Cups, which is Venus in Scorpio, which is where Venus is heading to right now. It's still in Libra. This is asking us to get emotionally prepared for this eclipse season. You know how we do that? By just living our best in the now. What good is there to stress about things that we don't have control of? But do we have some stress, some anxiety? Could that be a divine freaking outcry for us to do something? Well, here is my humble freaking attempt. Won't you join me in All Souls Aquarian's mission? All Souls Aquarian Church Temple. Temple Church. It's neither and either. Aquarius is it's forward, it's new stuff. The 11th house ruled by Aquarian is it's like all the treasures you get for a job well done. May that be the words of the Creator when we exit this here experience. May the words of the loved, the beloved, be job well done. Not my good and faithful servant. Job well done, my lover, my love. Let us remember that we just did a sacred freaking bridal marriage in today's freaking service. Don't bring you through that in Masonry. Not until far down the line. The marriage of Isis and Osiris. Happens in Libra season. This is from Mozart's Orpheus. And he got in trouble for revealing too much of the Masonic secrets. And then the magic flute. The flute has 7 notes, the 7 chakras. The flute is your spine. Likened to a fennel, a hollowed out fennel is what Prometheus captured the fire of God in. Let our fire be reignited with this Aries full moon. May the flames of Pentecost descend upon us. May we be revivified, ignited to be courageous, brave of soul. Reference to the heart, the soul being judged in Libra season at the scales of Ma'at, a divine order, law, cosmic law, Lady Justice, Libra. And our hearts have to be as light as a feather for us to enter through the pearly gates. And you know who's there to meet us? Venus, ruler of Libra. Love. Venus, ruler of the heart chakra. Can we love more? Let that be our motivation to be love warriors. Let me love you. Oh, this hurts me more than it hurts you. No, I'm not. We call for non-violence whenever we can. But self-defense. The Seven of Cups, Venus, and it's asking us to focus and perhaps to go in to our intuition to see what it is that we should focus on. To be emotionally scattered, but to pick that which is perhaps calling us. Maybe it's a little bit scary even. But let love comfort us and work with us as we work out our salvation in fear and trembling. That's so fucked. Let us ask for some. This is our Cosmic Starseed Oracle deck. Oh, Queen of Heaven. Ishtar, Anana, Astarte, Astar. Names for fucking Venus. Lover, divine. Moon goddess. Isis, Nephthys. All the goddesses. Freya. Bridget. Send us some freaking messages. Earthed. Get earthed, bro. But to earth you. Learning how to be human. As I was thinking about our heart having to be as light as a feather to get through the scales of Ma'at, I was thinking about this message the universe has been giving me lately, just through my different videos I watch on YouTube. The message of the YouTube angel is telling me to lighten up a little bit sometimes. Yeah. Okay, we're facing an imminent nuclear holocaust. I always have a feeling like we did this before. They all went into a nuclear holocaust and they turned back the hands of time. If I can turn back the hands of time, I would do something to not let our world fall into a nuclear freaking war. How do we do that? Perhaps finding out that these whole Gog, Magog, Armageddon, apocalyptic events are scripted, and then they're just being followed. Self-fulfilled prophecies. Let us come up with some fucking better prophecies to fulfill. Ones that include us escaping a nuclear fucking fallout. Praise be to the great silence. So not taking ourselves too seriously and going to silence. You could be in the discotheque with pounding bass and bodies flapping all around, frolicking, and be in a place of silence, centered, a place of equilibrium, Libra. And this is asking us to be earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Let us just meditate with that. And now let's go to this deck, which is called the Egyptian Gods Oracle Cards. You know, there's an idea that the older the god that you tap into, the more power it has. Pretty cool. And the more people that worship a god, the more power it has. Sometimes I just want to come up with a new name for God. But then that takes a while for it to gain energy. The flying spaghetti monster. No, that sounds better than the God of the Bible. God of the Bible's a total racist, homicidal, genocidal, psychotic asshole. Sekhmet, justice. She's the goddess of justice. Sekhmet, number 17, which is before the 18. Oh, the whole reason I drew this cube was because there's the 6 days of creation, the 6 sides. He rested on the 7th. The 7th is in the middle, the place of rest, of equilibrium. So let's get to the center of our temple. And a good time to do that is here on our equinox. Equal night, equal day. Look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Equals 12. The zodiac's in there too, bruh. You could pack so much esoteric knowledge in this bad boy here. We're having fun. We're doing it. The first All Souls Temple ceremony, also known as the first All Souls Aquarian Church celebration. It's a celebration, bitches! Ah! So, let's see what Sekhmet is all about. The head of a lion. Ooh, and they put it as justice? And then she's got the sun above her head. I know you can't see it that well because I don't have auto. Yo, go to my GoFundMe under starting a new religion. GoFundMe. And then I can afford a camera that has autofocus on it. And a building to move into. And a school to start. And a world to save from itself. Not waiting on some fucking savior to float down with its feet upon a cherubim's cheek. You're the freaking Messiah that you've been waiting for. Let us wait no more. Sorry for yelling. I get worked up with the power of Ra. Sekhmet. Oh, that is... Goddess Sekhmet, who doth don the lion head, reminding us of the sign of Leo, where the sun is at home. In the middle of summer, let us be light to this world, that we might bring forth the beautiful harvest. The harvest moon. I feel like this is such a good goddess for this time. Can I just say that, by the way? Just read it. Because they switch up in the Aleister Crowley deck. Strength card, which is associated with Libra, with the Justice card, with Lady Justice. I believe card number 17 and 11. As a blind, because there's something to learn there. Also, fuck Aleister Crowley. Fucking sicko. And for those thelemic practitioners, I beg you to reform that practice by taking out all that which is harmful to another The lioness-headed female goddess with a sun disk on her head. Sekhmet is the divinity of war. So, yeah, we're in a sacred war, motherfuckers! We curse at all souls. Damn, she is the divinity of war, epidemics, but also the protectress of forms of healing. Oh, that's kind of very scorpionic. How it's the poison and the freaking remedy. The kiss of death, but also death is life in some sense, but don't let them twist that, having you looking forward to your next life and resigning this one away to failure and slavery. She is the expression of the duality between disease and healing, chaos and order, water and fire. The two elements from which matter and spirit are obtained. Sekhmet brings order and punishes those who disobey divine law. Damn, she's over there at Judgment Day in Libra. You have the opportunity to reconcile the opposing energies. That's what we're doing with this full moon in Aries. And Sun in Libra. We're trying to reconcile the other with ourselves. And we just did it through a beautiful freaking marriage. Yeah. Sekhmet brings order and punishes those who disobey divine law. You have the opportunity, as a disher of karma. Remember that all the chickens come home to roost. Every person must experience the consequences of their actions, for better or for worse. I mean, that's one thing we do see. If you do something unhealthy, you hurt your body, you hurt yourself. And when we hurt others, we ultimately hurt ourselves, perhaps. Proceed more calmly and patiently. You know, I feel like that's what the moon upside down is telling me, and to get earthed. And the Page of Pentacles is looking at me. Okay. Proceed more calmly and patiently. Oh, I feel like this. Thank you for that message, Sacrament. I know. But I get worked up sometimes. Avoid extremes. Be your own magician. Balance your will and your goals. You know, I just had a card of Pentacles, which is the Apprentice, the Three of Pentacles. And then it came to me was the Five of Pentacles, being on the outside, being also poverty mindset and a negative mindset. I mean, I don't like new age religions, like only positivity here, bro. It's only high vibes. That's not fucking reality. But at the same time, let's come up with the best perception of this world is the winner. Almost everything's perception. I mean, it has to be in line with what? Divine law and reality. Let our actions be in line with that, so that we don't reap negative consequences. Let us be our own freaking magician. Yeah. Let's go. Balance, Libra. Your will, Aries. And your goals. 10th house, Capricorn stuff is your goals. Be just and be fair, Libra. Learn to judge, Libra, and criticize constructively, Virgo. Virgos just are critics for just the sake of it, and they're good because they're perfectionists. But let us criticize constructively, Virgo heavy people. Oh, and that voice in our heads. Let it not be, oh, you should have done that. You were bad. You ate too much ice cream. You had an extra martini. You said this. You're here. You're lonely. You're broke. You're ugly. You're whatever. Let that voice now be one that's interjected with more love, compassion, care, concern, empathy, and let that critical voice be turned into one that is constructive. Thank you, critical voice in my head. Is any of that shit that you just went through constructive, really, in helping me? I mean, sometimes nice to have a little reality check, but let us bring in a spiritual guide that is less of a dickhead. That's Saturn going from the adversary in Capricorn to Saturn, the savior, soter of Aquarius. It's where the adversary becomes the advocate. And now they use that against us, especially with the golem of the creation of Jesus for the Goyim. Jesus was created as a golem to wreck the non-Jewish world. And then when they're done using it, they just tear the name off of it. Yod-He, Vod-He, the elements. Yod-He, Vod-He. Yeshua. They put a shin in the middle. This is the elements of fire, air, water, earth. In that order. Fire, the sun, to the air, the atmosphere, to water, the ocean, to earth, the soil underneath. That's how light comes into this world. Then you want to go backwards. So we're going from earth, we're getting grounded, we're going to the waters, we're feeling, we're having emotions. We go into the air, we have thought and a mind to reach the pride, the sacred flame, the light. And that's how we ascend up and down Jacob's ladder, our 7 chakras. Okay, this is fun. I like to incorporate music into stuff. I like to get on campus, college campuses, set up an Aquarian booth, make shirts and sell them, raise money to get a temple, a building, a church, a mosque, call it whatever you want, a sacred gathering space where we bring in ways to heal from this constant barrage of emotional attacks, using trauma-based fear mechanisms is what religion has been really helpful for, as well as with the media and government. So this is a lot about this is a health and wellness religion, non-religion. Hopefully one day when we can use this as a vessel to break everybody out of these unhealthy religions, we just drop the title religion altogether. These words I have to deal with. Other words that are kind of troublesome. Faith. Belief. Because those have been used to much harm. God. The name alone. But we can transform these things. Whew. What are good things that religion offers us? We can teach morals and ethics, but you're not going to get that from the Bible. You come up with morals and ethics in spite of that book. Sometimes I just got to let the Holy Spirit rise up in me. Which is mostly talking about the working of energy. With All Souls Aquarian Church and Temple believes in energy. I think we can prove that, right? The A and the S. The A is fire and air. And the S is a sacred feminine moving like a serpent up our spine, like a spiraling fire on the church spire, rising higher and higher, crowned, and then descending down. Beautiful nourishment upon the earth, and then rising back up, and that's how we create our Ezekiel's wheel, which is called Merkaba mysticism, which is bringing these together in your mind, meditating on the sacred geometry, the color spectrum, and I think what we read, the root, we want to flip to the crown. You'll see a red feather plume on the crest of warriors' helmets in medieval times. Ooh, Sacrament. May the power of Sacrament be upon us as we go forth through Libra season. May we bring justice where there is injustice, peace and harmony where there is conflict and war. But let us be warriors of truth and justice, not afraid, going forth with the force of love power. We have been recharged and reignited today with this full moon in Aries. Thank you for being here. May we go in peace. This song, Jana Runnels. I love pagan music. Pagan simply means that your ancestors weren't conquered by the Abrahamic faith in the form of Christianity or Islam. And who created those religions? They all came out of the Abrahamic faith.
Into the earth I know. Deep into the earth I go. Deep into the earth.
Let's pray for Yemen, Iran, the word pray. What we do, we come together, we join intentions together for something. The word pray is a word I have a hard time with. It's like you make yourself a pray. Or why would we have to beg for fucking anything to some fucking god? We say it, so we have the keys to heaven and earth. We stole them from Peter because he's a lying freaking rabbi, Peter. And Paul, the swindler, who I don't even think existed. Maybe if he did, he was just a total deceptive Pharisee. So this lady Jana Runnels, this is called Deep Into the Earth, and so we're getting Aquarianism. We're getting in touch with Earth because we're trying to big up the sacred feminine, not at the expense of the sacred masculine, but to big each other up. are signing off with this sign of the crown, this sign of the star. You do an 8-pointed one for very solemn occasions, or the 5-pointed star for a quicker method. The 8-pointed star is a sign for the goddess and for moving into the age of Aquarius. Make shirts and logos, make stickers of this logo and put it on your car. And start your own Aquarian, whatever you want to call it. In Aquarianism, we teach the esoteric beliefs, the non-literal ones, and we make humanity the focus, and this world, not some world in the fucking heavens. And we realize that when they're talking about the heavens, they're talking about the sky. We are the one we've been waiting for. Signing off. In the name of all the sacred gods and goddesses who are here as heavenly help. May the forces of freaking nature be with us beneficently. May we deal with adversarial energies graciously. So mote it be.